Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. Today we're back with another Starcraft 2 1 vs 1 replay cast. If you watched my last cast, you're going to see some similarity. It is another Terran versus Zerg. I think the past something like 5 or 6 games on my channel have had a Terran in it. I mean, you can't blame me as I am a Terran player, and I do like to learn from watching great players play. But then it's always fun to watch great players regardless. So, if you watched my last cast, you'll have seen that it was MarineLord versus Nerchio. We've actually got another game between these two players. So, without further ado, spawning down the bottom left-hand side of the map, the red Terran, it is MarineLord. MarineLord, a very, very solid Terran player. And his opponent, possibly even more solid, the blue Zerg playing for Euronics Gaming, it is Nerchio. So we saw these two duke it out in the last game. It went to quite a macro length here. MarineLord actually took the game, which was very impressive, managing to bring down Nerchio in a macro game in which he usually excels at. We're going to see whether he'll be able to do it again. Daybreak is a bit of a different map here. It can be sort of hard for a Terran player to push. There's really only 1 or 2 avenues to do so. Well, 1 or 2 clear avenues. You can always break down the center rocks, go through other places. Drops are quite strong on this map if done correctly, but Nerchio is a player who's got some really great overlord spread and creep spread and things like that, so it may be hard for MarineLord to get some of those off. I know MarineLord has done fantastic drops in that last game, so we're going to see if he'll be able to repeat it. Standard builds coming out of these players. CC first. Well, Reaper into CC, my bad. One of those CC builds. Nerchio just going for a standard hatch before pool. And then going to be getting those queens out right away. So yeah, pretty much the most standard stuff you can think of in Terran versus Zerg here. Now, this is where it's changing up a little bit. If MarineLord was going for a 2-1-1 here, he'd have thrown up another barracks before his factory, but no, he's actually going for this factory, so it's likely going to be Hellions like we saw in the last game. And so that's, if his build is the same, I mean, it worked last time, we might actually see him throw up a 3rd command center very quickly like he did last time. Now, the question is whether Nerchio is going to go for something aggressive to try and shut it down. This time we see the Reaper poking in. I don't think it's gotten a kill. Yeah, 1 kill, so just 1 Zergling there. Weakening these other 2. The Queen's gonna pop out. We may be able to get 1 more Ling before it pops in. I mean, a Terran player, you want to get that Ling, but it's hard to do that while managing everything back at home. So we have the CC finishing up for MarineLord. He's gonna start his orbital command here. 2 Hellions on the way. We see the starport on the way, the tech lab, so he's going to be playing bio, going for that stim pack. I mean, he could possibly be going for a Banshee or something and swap these out, but I don't think that's too likely here. Maybe I'll be wrong. Daybreak isn't a bad mech map. We've seen a few Terrans bring out mech on this map. Is he going to swap them? I don't think so. Not looking like it anyway. He's content making his 2 Hellions right now. 3rd base going on for Nerchio, and he actually does swap that starport and barracks here, so it's likely going to be a Banshee. Not too common. Oh, a Viking. I mean, he swapped it on the tech lab for some reason. It could be... What could he be going for? I mean, well, regardless, right now Nerchio is trying to get on top of these 2 Hellions. These Lings getting in. Actually, Nerchio getting a scout on that tech lab. He doesn't see anything researching, so he's not sure what it is. But this is looking like that it could actually be mech out of MarineLord. He's one of the Terran players who's solid. He did Sky Mech as quite a regular thing a while back, but no, he's actually going for Ravens here. Okay, so this is interesting. If you aren't aware, Ravens in patch 3.8 got an auto turret damage buff. Auto turrets were absurdly strong before this patch. I mean, they did 16 damage shots. Now they do 24, which can 2-shot pretty much Zerglings. They can 2-shot drones. They can, I mean, they can kill anything very, very quickly. So this Viking's moving out. Love this out of MarineLord, by the way, as Nerchio, a player with absurd Viking spread. I mean, absurd Overlord spread. 1 Viking just shuts that down. Alrighty. So, third CC is on the way for MarineLord. I mean, sort of using it as a buffer to his wall there. A bit of an odd place to put it. We see these Hellions chasing the Lings for Nerchio. So it looks like that Nerchio is going Roaches to shut this down. Very good choice. Roaches are sort of like the standard Zerg unit when it comes to countering mech. Now, it's not definitively mech from MarineLord yet. It's certainly looking like it's going to be as he's producing Hellions nonstop. Actually finished that wall off, so two are misrallied there. I mean, he's making Ravens. He's starting a reactor, so okay, here we go. It's going to be Sky Terran. We saw a Beastie Cutie actually bringing this out versus Nerchio, and Nerchio did a good job shutting it down, but we're going to see if MarineLord can do it a little better. And we actually saw, there's that auto turret harassment, just killing one drone though, I believe. Nerchio, a good player, spreading. He's actually losing a lot of mining time as he's pulled those back, but right now he's busy with Hellions and Reaper trying to get into the main base of Nerchio. MarineLord really seeing all those Marines. And this Raven's just going to chill out, as until there's some sort of air unit, it can just sort of sit here, come in, throw a few auto turrets, not have a worry in the world. And now we see MarineLord going into Banshees now. Another Viking on the way. He's actually shut down pretty much all the Overlords except this one, which is going to be an Overseer. And this is actually going to get a great scout for Nerchio. He's going to be able to tell that there's going to be Sky Terran on the way. So I assume instantly he's going to throw down a Spire, want to get Vipers, maybe a Hydra Den. I assume that's how he'd deal with it. Nerchio, not really sure what he wanted to be going for right now, so he just went for all the upgrades, 3 at a time. A bit more expensive, but it leaves a lot of doors open for the Zerg player. And now MarineLord, double Liberator on the way. He's going for Banshees on the way as well. No cloak or anything for these Banshees just yet. He's not got a fusion core on the way, so no speed for these Banshees. It's sort of interesting. There's so many different ways Terran can play Skymech. I mean, you can go Liberators, you can go Ravens, you can go Banshees. MarineLord making these Banshees, doesn't have cloak on the way, doesn't have a fusion core, so it's not like he can get that Banshee speed. It's interesting how he's playing this. We see another Raven come in. I believe it just shot a Roach or two. And now we see these Hellions moving in, cleaning up creep. These Lings trying to get on top of them, but they're just fried alive. Hive on the way for Nerchio. That's what Zerg's ultimate endgame really is when it comes to dealing with mech. Queen's moving out, and they want to respread this creep before it all dissipates. Fourth base on the way for Nerchio here. We see 2 Liberators. This is like the setup to a bad joke. 3 Banshees, 2 Liberators, and a Viking walk into Nerchio's base. Let's see what happens. I mean, the third base is sort of unprotected. We see 6 Ravagers on the way, though. So, these Liberators will be able to be shut down, but the Banshees, there's really no answer for them right now. So this fourth base should actually be able to be cancelled for MarineLord, and this is a very nice kickoff here. He's securing his own third base. He's getting a wall up to prevent counter harassment, but there's actually an Infestor here, and he actually lands a great fungal, takes out almost all of those air units with that fungal, with those corrosive vials. So that is a big loss for MarineLord, and he's going to be forced back here. Now, MarineLord is going to have more Banshees out, so with good micro, he'll be able to kill off all these Raptors, but it's not a good situation to be in, just losing those expensive units here. We see these Hellions kiting back against these Surgeons. Nerchio's going in for an attack here, but he knows he's got to pull back, as you can't push in versus air units when you only have Ravagers as your anti-air. We see Queen's respreading creep here, the fourth base, getting back up again. We see a fifth base on the way for Nerchio. Sometimes there are players who have a lot of money like to do that, even if they know one of them might get harassed or possibly even cancelled, because then you have an extra base. It's sort of like a reserve. Oh no, this wall is open for MarineLord. The Lings are going to flood in here. We see SCVs are going to start pulling down. MarineLord pulling them to fight, but he wants to get them out. A few of the Lings are going to be pushed back here. The rest are going to be killed. Not too many workers lost for MarineLord there. Yeah, just an SCV or two. One meal not mining. Okay, MarineLord fixing that. We see the Banshees moving out, gonna start shooting at some Roaches here. I mean, well, one of them shooting, the others are just sort of sitting here awkwardly. Nerchio reveals that he has Burrow. We see auto turrets moving in off for these Ravens, but these Ravens are going to have to be careful now, as there is Corruptors. MarineLord hasn't scouted that Spire wherever it is. Pardon me and my poor hockey. He's trying to figure out where it is. Okay, there it is. It's easier for me just to look. We see armor upgrade on the way for Nerchio in case he has to deal with things like Thor Splash or Liberator Splash, as Liberators, their splash is very good, but versus Corruptors you need a large amount of them to be effective versus the Corruptors, but they can actually be they can be effective when it reaches a certain count. It's just very hard for the Terran player to get there. But if the Zerg it's wise for Nerchio to invest in this Carapace, basically. We see a 4th base being secured for MarineLord while just starting to float over, really. 3rd base getting a bit of harassment done once again here. And these are upgraded Lings. They have +1 attack, so they can sort of ravage through things fairly quickly. We see them gonna get fried this time, though. Now we see Infestors on the way for Nerchio. He's just sort of producing all that he can. He's starting to build up a scary drone count here. And now we see these Corruptors are actually getting on top of all these air units here. The Banshees can't really deal with the Hydras. The Vikings trying to just trade with the Corruptors right now, but they're not doing that. MarineLord is not kiting at all, and it seems that all of these air units are going to go down. This base is forced lift. The Liberators and Vikings sort of weaken a lot of those Corruptors, and they kill a decent amount, but that was a lot of damage done. 7 Vikings go down for 6 Corruptors. Not a terrible trade for MarineLord, but he lost Banshees, he lost other units there. But I guess MarineLord decides that he wants to push in. So he did get that Hyperflight Rotors, and he does have an upgrade lead. That's why those Vikings traded decently there, as he's got +2 attack, +1 armor. Nerchio just finishing up that +1 Spire armor. But it's going to be hard for MarineLord to secure this base. It's going to be hard for him to secure an army which can take trades, as Nerchio soon is just going to be able to mass Hydras, mass Corruptors, and just go in for an attack. This is where the Zerg Swarm sort of comes in. The Queens are even moving in. Nerchio is just going to go for an attack right now. There's a large count of Banshees, but trading straight up, really they'll be able to kill the few Liberators, but then the Corruptors will just sort of reign supreme by all means. They're going to try and get on top here. The Banshees moving in, trying to pick up the Infestors, and they actually do. That's very important here for MarineLord, but a lot of these units are weak. The Queen is transfusing non-stop. All the ground AA goes down, but it's just a few Vikings left versus these Corruptors. Great control is going to be able to be needed out of MarineLord here to take this fight. Missile turret, planetary fortress is going to stand for a little bit. It's going to be able to push back these Ravagers. Nerchio instantly morphing more Ravagers out of his roaches to try and keep them alive. But we see Vipers now. They'll be able to eject units. These great upgrades are working well for MarineLord, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. He's dropping mules at his base, but I mean, 7 Vikings on the way at a time, but that's really all he's going to have. More Vikings are moving in. They're actually taking great trades versus these Corruptors right now. He's kiting well. He's sort of splitting these Corruptors in 2 different angles right now. If it wasn't for the upgrades, MarineLord would certainly be dead right now, but he's in a very tough spot. All he's got is Vikings, a couple of Hellions. Once he cleans up these Corruptors, he'll also have to deal with the ground army. And he is going to clean up all of these Corruptors, but +1 Carapace is done for Nerchio's Corruptors, so they're living a little longer here. SCVs pulled, Vikings land to clean this up. They will eventually be able to clean up this army here. The SCVs going back to mining. The Vikings, Nerchio's likely just going to try and pick off as many as he can here. When it comes to the air superiority battle, he just wants to kill off as many Vikings as he can. We see Banshees on the way for MarineLord in case there's sort of like another Ling flood for now. But, or, well, Lings or mass Hydra commitment, but for now it looks like Nerchio's just going back into these Corruptors, and he's actually starting to use Caustic Spray on this planetary fortress here. Trading with these Vikings once again. This wall being attacked. We see the Banshees and Hellions going to try and clear up the Lings. The Hellions retreating to the PF. It's now tough for MarineLord here. There's actually going to be these Corruptors moving in, start camping production. Going to pick off a Banshee or 2. Good cloak from MarineLord, saving them. MarineLord cut his production on his Vikings, though he's down on supply. Things are not looking very well for the Terran player here. Nerchio's just up on 71 drones here. He's happily mining. He's got a great income. The fourth base is established, but it's not fully saturated. MarineLord dropping as many mules as he can. It would be good to repair these Vikings, as every bit of health matters right now. But this next attack is going to be very tough for MarineLord to hold on. There's so many Hydras here. The Vikings, sure, they could trade with the Corruptors here, but I'm not sure if it's going to work here. It's going to be up to this Planetary Fortress. A few Banshees, really. Maybe he'll be able to pick off the Overseers. But Nerchio, a smart player, bringing in more. There's far too many to be able to snipe off. And now the Hydras are picking off critical Vikings. This game looks like it is going to be Nerchio's here. MarineLord trying to hang on, but he ultimately he can't. GG gets called as Nerchio takes the game. It was sort of one-sided. It was neat to see another Terran player try to go mech versus Nerchio, but having a hard time there. Where it exactly went wrong? Really just that one attack with the Vikings. I guess maybe a bit more micro could have come out of MarineLord there, trying to kite better. Force the Corruptors out of their comfort zone, and maybe trying to remax on a bit of a different composition would have worked better, but ultimately it's hard to say, as mech is a style which isn't quite as flushed out, as figured out as other Terran styles. So regardless, if you guys have enjoyed the cast, first cast of the day, I'm a little bit groggy and whatnot from just waking up, but you know I wanted to cast some more Starcraft. So otherwise, I shall see you guys next time, but if you like the video, feel free to leave a like, as that really helps. If you have any casting feedback, feel free to let me know. I shall see you guys next time.